Hello traders, welcome to Tarisai Trading Ideas. Today I'll be sharing with you ideas on Heikin Ashi Candlesticks, which can help us to improve on our trading strategies. What are Heikin Ashi Candlesticks? Heikin Ashi Candlesticks originated in Japan, and in Japanese Heikin means average, whilst the Ashi means base. Thus Heikin Ashi represents the average base of prices. Standard candlestick charts use open, high, low and close, but Heikin Ashi candlesticks use a modified formula to calculate their own open, which shall be named HAO, high, HAH, low, HAL and close, HAC. The calculation for HAO will be determined by adding the open of the previous bar and the close of the previous bar and dividing this total by 2. The HAC, we will get it by adding the open, the high, the low, the close and dividing the total by 4. And the HAH is obtained from the highest of the high between the open or the close. The HAL will be determined by the lowest of the low between the open and the close. Why Heikin Ashi? Heikin Ashi candlesticks are mainly used for two major things, which is identification of the trend strength and identification of trend reversals. For trend strength, technical traders can identify a trend more easily, and for a bullish trend, we will notice that we are going to see consecutive green candles with no lower tails or shadows, and this signal a very strong uptrend. For a bearish trend, you will notice that there will be consecutive red candles with no upper tail, signaling a very strong downtrend. Why Heikin Ashi? Here you would see that the signs of a trend reversal shall be mainly determined by small candlesticks, which will be showing an indecision within the price movements. And one of those small candlesticks could be a doji, which is a small candlestick with open and close that are virtually equal. They have a small upper and lower shadows to denote little price movement. You can also have spinning tops, which have small bodies and long upper or lower tails. Despite a lot of movement from low to high, prices finish near the open point for little change. This shows indecision, and this can foreshadow a reversal. A doji or a spinning top in a bullish or bearish trend shows indecision within the trend. Confirmation of a trend reversal will therefore be required. When a chartist spots a doji or a spinning top in a trend, it will be time to set a support or resistance level, which would be the basis for the trend reversal. What are the merits of Heikin Ashi candlesticks? Heikin Ashi candlesticks are accessible, and they may not require installation on many trading platforms. They are highly readable and easy to interpret. They are reliable as an indicator that uses historical data, and they are quite dependable. Filtering of market noise was the smoothing effect makes it easier to identify trends and reduces false trading signals in sideways or choppy markets. And the ability to be combined with other indicators is also a bonus when you are using Heikin Ashi candlesticks. What are the demerits? Of course, we have some few shortcomings of Heikin Ashi Candlesticks, and these are the lack of full price information. Since the data is average, it does not show the actual open or close price. We also have lack of price gaps. When you're using Heikin Ashi Candlesticks, the price gaps are important to analyze, and you may not actually see them when you're using Heikin Ashi Candlesticks. The time gap, which is the use of historical prices where the base signals, which are the base signals for the Heikin Ashi Candlesticks, also implies that there is a time lag involved in our stock price movements, so we may not be able to take decisions as quickly as might be required by the market. Now let's look at the charts that are going to show us how Heikin Ashi candlesticks differ from the standard candlesticks. And on the top chart, which is this one, you would see that we have the standard candlesticks, but on the bottom we have Heikin Ashi candlesticks. But the stock here the charts are for cryptocurrencies, which is the SHIB vis-a-vis the USD. And when we look at the chart, you'd see that the first part of the chart up to around 9, the price was moving downward. On the standard chart candlesticks, this may not be clear when we look at the color change or the mixture of the colors of the candles, which is red and green. You can't actually see the dominant color or the dominant direction of the trend. But when you apply the Heikin Ashi candlesticks, you'd see now that the dominant color here is red. And when you look at the candlesticks, the red candlesticks, they mainly have no upper shadows. They actually have lower shadows, indicating that our trend is strong downward, and they are dominating the green candles. When you get to see now the color, the color which should be dominating being green, we are now sure that the trend has changed or is reversed. It is now bullish from bearish. This can also be seen in various other financial instruments, and here we see that on Ethereum, during this first part of the chart, the standard candlesticks, the color again, here you could see that the green looks like it's dominating, but it's not very clear. But when you apply the Heikin Ashi candlesticks, it is now very clear that we have a bullish trend, because you see that we have some green candles, and these green candles have upper shadows and no lower shadows. So this trend is strong to the bullish side. What you also see on this chart is that each time there is an indecision in the market, we see some dojis and some spinning tops in different locations of the chart. But each time when there is indecision or when the price is stalling, those small candlesticks start to appear, and we know that something is happening in the market. Looking again at the price of the British pound vis-a-vis the US dollar, we see again that on the standard chart we are not very clear about the trend of the price, and we are not very clear about the reversal points, the trend reversal points. But when we look at the Heikin Ashi candlesticks, which is below, we see that after a series of bullish candlesticks, these are these green candles with upper tails or shadows, after a series of them, a doji appeared, which was showing indecision in the market, and we had to wait for a signal to see where the trend was going to lead. And we see that after the doji, we have a series of bearish candles with no upper shadows, but we have the shadows on the bottom of the candlesticks, and it's actually showing us it's a strong bearish trend. When we also look at the dominating color, we see that on the whole chart red is dominating, so the trend is bearish. One of the weaknesses that we have seen with these Heikin Ashi candlesticks is that they do not show us gaps. If we look at the standard candlesticks, we see that when the price was moving, it created quite a lot of gaps. But when we look at the Heikin Ashi candlesticks, this is the bottom chart, there are no gaps at all. So when you like trading using gaps, please take note that you have to use both the standard and the Heikin Ashi candlesticks so that you don't miss the gaps that will be created in the standard candlestick charts. Now, the other strength of Heikin Ashi candlesticks is that they can be combined with other trading tools such as moving averages and MACD to identify or spot trading opportunities within the market. If we look at the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange or share, we see that by applying the 50 days simple moving average, the price, there are some incidences where the price was approaching the moving average, and supported by the MACD, we can see that each time we have a movement or price away from the 50 days simple moving average with green candles, the trend is bullish. This is also confirmed by the MACD, where the histogram starts to increase and it is above 0. To look again at Elon vis-a-vis the USD, this meme coin, you see that during the first part of the graph, we had green candles dominating, and by applying the 20 days and the 50 days simple moving average, you see that the price is trading above these simple moving averages, and this is the trend. The bullishness of the trend is also confirmed by the MACD, which is trading above 0, and the histograms are increasing in most cases. However, the other second part of the chart, or the other last half of the chart, you'd see that the price moved below the moving averages, both the 20 and the 50 days simple moving averages. When price moves below these moving averages, you know that the trend will be bearish, and this is supported by the MACD, which also crossed to below 0 before the moving averages. The price moved below the moving averages. Each time the price moves towards the 50 days simple moving average, the candlesticks, the size starts to decrease, meaning that each time the price moves towards the 50 days simple moving average, there is indecision within the market, and this is also confirmed by the MACD. So we can use this to identify trading opportunities within our market. The pound versus the US dollar, you see that when the moving averages are flat, we also have the candlesticks, the Heikin Ashi candlesticks, being very small in size, and it is an indication of indecision within the market, and this is supported by the moving averages, which are also flat. And we can also check with the MACD, which is also flat at 0, showing that the market is not moving anywhere. When we start seeing now the price moving away from the moving averages, we also see the MACD graph decreasing, and here we see that the candlesticks have lower shadows and no upper shadows, meaning that the trend began to be slightly bearish, and we can then pick a good trading strategy there. Looking at Barrick Gold again, on this chart we see that when the price was trading above the moving averages, we have strong green candles indicating that the trend is bullish, and this is also supported by the MACD, where the histogram is above 0 and increasing in most of the time. When price finally moved below the moving average, we also see the candlesticks having lower shadows, indicating that the trend is now bearish. This is also supported by the MACD histogram, which is trading below 0. So you can see that we can actually strengthen our trading opportunities by using additional indicators on top of our Heikin Ashi candlesticks. All I can say is thank you very much for watching this video, and please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel, like and share the videos that you have watched. Thank you very much, and have a blessed day.